up, my peeps? This is Baby Rose. I hope you're doing okay this afternoon, morning, or night, depends on where you live at. So today I'm going to continue my top three movies from a horror movie franchises, which will be two, and they are The Predator and Scream. And y'all should read my post on why I would not do Child's Play and Halloween. I don't. I like the franchise, but I never like see it like that much too. Like for me, I mean, I love Chucky, I love Michael Myers, but I'm more of a Scream, Jason, Freddy type of thing because those are the movies that I watch the most. And so we're gonna do Predator and Scream, but today we are going to do Scream, another Wes Craven movie franchise that he made sure that no one mess up. Pooty boo. Anyway, so my top three, I'm going to reveal my top three. Now, when it comes to ranking, I'm just going to pick it out of here. What is number three? What is number two? What is number one? In future top threes of any type of movies, it will be ranked, but I just want to do this blindly, okay? So now I'm gonna reveal my top three, and I think y'all gonna hate me to death because five and six is not in there. Sorry, I like it. I like it. I really truly do. I have no problems with five and six. But for me, the top three are part two. Ooh, y'all gonna hate me on this one. Part three and part four. The only reason why I'm not picking part one is because it's just so good. It's just too good that if you put it in the top three, it's automatically gonna be like number one. So I want to put the best, like push the best out the way. Okay, that's common. All right, everybody gonna pick Scream first one, right? But besides part one, if you ask me, besides part one, what other top three Scream movies do you like? And two through four are my favorites. And reason why I chose four is because it's more of my generation. Okay, Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts, what's his name, Rory Culkin, excuse me. We are all the same age. Maybe I'm a year younger or a year older than they are, but I know Hayden and I are kind of like the same age. So they are my generation of the whole new Scream and the heck, Jill. So anyway, let's get into my top three movies of the Scream franchise. So number three of my top three movies from Scream franchise is it's part four. Huh. Okay. So, like I said, now here's the thing about part four. I love the fact that now is a whole different, generation, and it's my generation. And now we're in our 20s, and you get 20-year-olds playing teens, which is okay, because there's certain things that actual teenagers cannot do because you don't want to go to jail for. and And what I love about it is that it's like you come off of three and then you get into four, and then these ghost faces, there's two of them, are brutal. They they flying, they just come, they just charging in, and it's like Sydney is just basically tired. It's like first Billy and Stewie, then it's her classmate, and then it's Billy's grandmother, mother, no grandmother, yeah. And now you get Roman from three, and then now it's like who is mad at me, right? But now you we are in be introduced into the new age of creating movies, which is the social media, being an influencer. Now that's the beginning of it, of wanting to be famous so bad, and you want to know who as a young person who are like which one or which of the two are ghost faces. Okay. And at first people with thought it was hating me. I'm like, I don't know. But I'm looking at Jill, played by Emma Roberts. And I'm like, can't be Kirby. It cannot be Kirby, but Hayden Panettiere. It cannot be her. But Rory, it was a question mark. But Jill is just like, I don't know, because they cousins, and this whole time of how Sydney always lived, how she was taunted by Ghostface, two Ghostface in part one, another two in part two, and then one in part three, and then you talking about another two in this one. It's kind of like, who wants to end me now? Like, can this stop? And come to find out, it was Jill and I forgot Rory Colton's character name. It was 2011. Is it Rory Culkin? Okay, Charlie Walker. Okay, so you get Jill and you get Charlie, who are Ghostface. And just the fact that the reason why Jill wanted to off Cindy so bad is like, I'm keep hearing Sydney is the heroine, Sydney this, Sydney. Like, it's my time to be the hero, the heroine. And what she said along the lines like, I don't need friends, I need fans. It's like that whole of being famous, you would do anything to get famous. Again, it's like the new age of technology of wanting to become internet famous. This movie was out in 2011, where it's just beginning of social media. And dang, how old was I? 20, 25? I was 25 when this came out. And so just the way, even after she ended Charlie's life, what length that she will go to, right? Running herself into a glass picture frame, jumping and landing on top of a glass coffee table, and just, I mean, just, and both of them, Sydney and Jill, were in the hospital. And when Jill found out that Sydney was alive, and then she found Sydney, like, who are you, Michael F. Myers? Like, I'm sorry. Like, even though part five was not part of it. I know people love Amber so much. I get it, but she doesn't do it for me. As a female Ghostface, to me, it was Emma Roberts. She nailed that to the T. And just the fact it's Sydney's cousin. It's like, first my brother, now my cousin. Like, don't like me. Like, it's not even about her mama. It's just Jill. Just like, I'm so sick of hearing your name. I want to be famous, and she got that. She got that. And you don't even hear anything about it like in part five, honestly. But they praise Jill at the end of the movie. So what I love about it, it's a whole different genre of generations, which is my generation of beginning of social media, of you do anything for fame. And I love the filter, and I love the beginning of it of it's too many beginnings, but it's kind of like, oh no. And then another begin, like, and then it's kind of like, we're going to do, y'all going to do it again, but no, it's for real. And Kirby, she came back in part five, and like Kirby said to Sam, like, legacy is not always a bad thing, right? Because you get Sydney and you get Gail and you had Dewey, and then now you have Kirby in this new generation, and now you have another generation, which is for this generation of episode not episode of Scream 5 and 6, right? And so that's what I love, because it opened the door for the create new generation. I think this was the last movie that Wes had done, and I love the fact that Wes, even though in his final days, he made sure that the Scream franchise be what it's supposed to be. Unlike with Freddy, which he was scary, had one-liners, and he can be a little bit of a jokester in the first four. But what they did with him was so comical to a point where he ain't as scary or as a you know demented type of character anymore. Wes made sure that Ghostface isn't going to be that. All right, and now we're gonna get into my number two of the top three movie of the Scream franchise. Number two of my top three Scream movie franchise is Scream 2. Now, honestly, this is my number one. Okay, even though it's number two, but my number one favorite out of a whole Scream franchise is part two. And I don't know what it is about sequels because sometimes it can be a hit and miss. Most of the time, it's always a hit, and this was well done. I mean, it was so good. And and then you have the beginning of the movie with, Jada Pinkett Smith and Omar Epps. Phil and oh gosh, what is the character name? Gosh, I forgot her character name. Um, yeah, so you got Jada and Omar Epps in the beginning, and yeah, how Omar died. My goodness, but just the fact that everybody's in the movie just waiting like for Stab to come on, right? And after uh Jada's boo was off, then you get this ghost face sitting beside her, thinking that, oh, my baby is wearing a mask. He's gonna be part of you know, the the celebration of Stab and all that stuff. But nah, and then she realized like she got stabbed, and then it's just like, oh my gosh. And then just like kept doing it while everybody like, yeah, 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 yeah. And she bleeding all out the mouth, and then she was in front of the screen and just screaming and just dropped lifeless. And that's just crazy. And now it's like a continuation of haunting Sydney. And you got two ghost faces this time, like part four and part one. And ghost faces are Mickey and Mrs. Loomis. And the reason why she wants to get back at Sydney is because, she killed her grandson. And I think Mickey was like a student, and he just, what, a film? Like this whole film thingy-majiggy of Stab. I think that is the beginning of the Stab franchise and how to make it great and what have you. I forgot the reason why, but Mrs. Loomis, she just wants somebody to like help her out. I didn't think Mickey was just a helper. But I not shocked that he was Ghostface, but knowing that home chick that you saw Mrs. Loomis in the beginning, talking with Gail for a bit, then it's like, wait, you Mrs. Loomis? Oh, okay. And I mean, and what Randy, how he was, how he was killed off. He is the knowledge of horror movies, like what you should do, what you should not. I mean, it's like all these horror knowledge that you need in life because it's so true. And how he got cut off, it's just like, man, that ain't fair. I love Randy. And then you get Cotton. Cindy did, wrongfully accuse Cotton, and he was in jail. And then all of a sudden, Gail decided, like, should you talk to the one person that you need to talk to and kind of apologize? And then Cotton Weary came, was kind of like, oh. And then all of a sudden, Cindy got mad at Gail, kind of like, you just what you call it, and all of a sudden, boop. And Haley, what's her name? Played by was it Haley, played by Elise Neal. Love her. You get that on film? Yeah, I got that on film. The cameraman Joel, yeah, by Dwayne Martin. Yeah, did you get that on film? Yes, I got that on film. Shit, man, I love it. And Sarah Michelle Gellar was in there, and she's just like, this Ghostface ain't playing. No, but it. And then what really truly like really scared me the most is when Sydney was doing her play, and then you see Ghostface in the play, wearing the hoodie, whatever you want to call it. It's just like, yo, leave Sydney alone. I mean, because of what her mother did and whatnot, so you want to blame Sydney for it? Well, she had no knowledge of. Like, come on. I mean, it's just everything, everything about Scream 2 that it was taking it seriously, and it it was engaging, it was scary, and it it is well, part one did start it off, but I think part two is it was like the beginning of the guessing game. Is like like a mystery type of movie. It's horror mystery. Who done it? Who done it? Then you got to listen too. So that's why I'm not shocked with Homeboy being Ghostface that much, but Mrs. Loomis, yeah, Gail and Dewey being together. I want to know how many people really truly, if they know, if they already know, don't know. I mean, if you know, like myself, you already knew this, but those who didn't know, like Courtney Cox and David Arquette were married. They were married. Her name was Courtney Cox Arquette. Yes, they were married at the time, then they divorced. And if that don't show y'all, you can be an ex to each other and still be in business and still be friends, grow up. They mature about it, okay? Because, in their age, especially my age, I'm still young at 39 or 40, it's like you don't have time like to be enemies with your ex unless, they are your enemies. But if it's not, if if y'all cool, there's no reason to hate your ex. I mean, we can work together and be friends. See, but people are not in that same maturity level like that. So let's get to my last favorite Scream movie. So number one is Scream 3. Okay. Now Scream 3 was released in 2000, and this was the aftermath of what happened in Columbine High School. So they decided to change the landscape of Scream in part 3 and not make it violent because of Columbine. I keep thinking that Columbine had happened in '96, maybe because the color of, when they show what had happened, the color of it kind of screams '96, but then it says 1999. I'm like, dang, I was 13 years old. And so they had to change it up a bit. They not taking it as seriously, so it's funny. And honestly, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know people say, oh no, but who made it great was, come on, Parker Posey. Parker the Posey. She made it so great. She wants to get into Gail's head and trying to get in touch with that lonely little girl inside. And she just take things like my boy David, Xavier, like he said about what's her name, Jennifer Jolie, is always at a 10. It's like she really truly thinking this is a movie. But I just love Parker Posey. She just did it for me, and just the fact too, when they need to talk to someone, I forgot they was at the set, and who came out of the trailer was Heather Monarazzo, and I'm like, Heather Monarazzo, what? Heather the Monarazzo. If y'all don't know, my first time knowing who she was when she did the movie Welcome to the Dollhouse, and I love that movie. It was kind of pretty effed up, but it was I can talk about that movie till I'm blue in the face. But when I saw her, I'm like, Dawn Wiener. Yes, Dawn Wiener. Welcome to the dollhouse. Yes. And she's a sister of Randy in the movie. And now you're talking about as one who still wants Sydney. Sydney is out there on her own, want to get away from it all. So come to find out, who was Ghostface was her half brother, Roman. And let me tell you something. I do agree with David on this one. In his movie reaction to part 4 and part 3, Roman and Jill gave Sydney a run for her money. She, and I'm like, maybe because of family. Maybe it's because family. It's just like with Roman in this one, reason why he couldn't stand, like why he hated his mother so much. First of all, it's like he hated his mother, but he felt sorry for his mother. And with Milton, played by Herrickson, Lance Herrickson, one play as Bishop in Alien and all that kind of stuff. It's like you let these men take advantage of my mother, and all of a sudden, I don't know if he was a product of Grape or what have you, or she was in a relationship and she had a child, and then she decided to leave Roman and the daddy. I don't know. I need to look at it again. And then start off a new life, getting married. Then you have Sydney, and she stayed. And with that whole resentment, it's like I felt sorry for you. What had happened to you during your little actress years, but you left me. You didn't take me and raise me with your new family. Like I didn't exist. And here comes the hatred towards Sydney. It's like you get all the love and all the praises, like with Jill in a way, but I didn't get anything. I didn't get any love. And it's like Sydney understood that. And it's kind of like, dag, if my, I mean, I like she understood why her mother did what she had done and why she is the way she was. But at the same time, it's kind of like you could have just taken him and then he wouldn't have that resentment. But at the same time, though, like Sydney said, even though you can get mad, but for you to do all this, that's on you. And I do agree with that. I do agree. And I don't know, part three, you know, if I had to rank it, no, part two is my number real, just go through the list of two and three, one, two, and three. Right? But part three is just fun. It's not meant to be taken seriously. We know that because of what happened in Columbine, they need to push back on the violence and push back on, the whole, talk being like, gory and just again violent. And I know that Wes made sure that in part four we're gonna do this the right way. Okay, we're gonna take years off and let things cool down and come back in 2011 and do it the right way. And bam, did it. And then now that my top three is over, and then without Wes, people were wondering about part five and six. And then now with the whole new storyline with now Billy Loomis's daughter, Sam, from another relationship, it's like they still kept what Wes wanted and not trying to make whoever's going to be Ghostface comical. Still keep it scary. Still pushing the boundaries. And let me tell you something. If I had to pick which one's my favorite between five and six, six is my favorite one. Okay. Oh, when the siblings, stab, oh gosh, I forgot his name in the movie theater. He kept stabbing. Then all of a sudden they did to, that crap scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh no. But anyway, those are my top three movies from the Scream franchise. What are your top three? You can rank them if you want to. Just put the list and what Scream movies do you like and why. And I will see you next time. So I love you guys so much. And yeah, and that's that. So peace, love, and happiness to all of you. Stay cool. Don't be no fool. And use the tool of what? Knowledge. Deuces.